To increase revenue in your business, you might think you need to add things, more products, more services, more work. But there's almost certainly a bunch of hidden money already in your business.
One of the fastest ways that you can make profit is by looking at the things in your business that are making you money that you could do better.
My guest today, Jessica Miller, shares 4 keys that will unlock extra money and turn it into profit.
So there are 4 components that make up a Hell Yes offer. The first one is your Hell Yes energy. You want to call in your people with your offer. So that means like pulling your ideal client into your offer, into your business. It's magnetic.
Okay.
The third piece is you want to have a compelling solution. It's the thing that is going to be like hell yes. And then the last piece is that you can scale to $1 million with a really good Hell Yes offer. If you have people and you have an audience, it is a gold mine. The number one reason that people leave money on the table is because they don't give another offer for people to buy. If you want to grow, but you don't want to do it by adding so much more complexity, one of the most powerful levers that you have in your business is.
So stick around for this one because it's going to unlock more profit than you ever knew was possible in your business.
Oh, it just prints money.
It's so good. It's so good.
Jessica, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So we have a lot of fun things to cover. I think this is going to be an action-packed episode.
For sure.
So we're going to dive into 4 keys to unlock $100,000 in hidden profit. I'm already kind of teased by the fact that they're written up there, but I don't know what they are yet. So before we get into that though, I think you have an interesting background of coming to the world of business and entrepreneurship. So is this where you started out or?
No.
Yeah. What was your path to get to this point?
So actually, I'm a pharmacist by training, and I have a business degree. I was planning my whole life out that I was going to go into basically clinical medicine. I got accepted to an accelerated MBA program, which back in the day when I went to college, like that was not a thing. And it really just like blew my whole world open. Really taught me about what companies were doing out there, how they were making an impact on so many people. And once I saw that, I thought this is the direction I want to go.
So that's pretty wild to go from consulting and running your own business, where we are now, but coming from the world of pharmacy.
Yes.
And you're saying the impact is what stood out to you. Is there an example or a story of like the impact of business that, made you really want to switch over or made you realize, years later, like, yes, this was the right decision, the type of impact that I want to have?
Yeah. So back in the day, the internet, all those things were just coming to be. Even like LinkedIn had just started. And I was watching how things were changing so fast. I really thought that people that were doing that were these special snowflakes and they had this sort of voodoo magic. But then after going and studying it, I realized like there is a framework and a way that companies do this repeatedly. And I think that marriage of like mission and passion and the tools to create a big, impact and effect on the world was just so cool. And once I saw that, I was like, this is where we're going. I don't know how I'm going to get there, what's going to happen, but like, let's just go in that direction.
So what did that corporate career look like?
So I actually had my sights set on my first company that I ever worked for was Eli Lilly and Company.
Okay.
And the reason I wanted to work for them is because they were like the last family-owned pharmaceutical company. Colonel Eli Lilly was a pharmacist. He started this business and they were doing amazing. Back in the 90s were the days when they discovered Prozac and these big blockbuster drugs. So I was like, I am going to work for Lilly. And I will never forget standing in like a CVS pharmacy, getting a phone call from a recruiter saying, hey, we're opening up this medical info division out in Indianapolis. Do you want to come? And I'm like, is this a joke? But I did what I always do now. And I kind of took a leap of faith and a wing of prayer and went out there and interviewed. And they hired me and I helped them start this department that eventually went global. And that really like just spearheaded my whole career in corporate.
And then what led to the switch out of corporate and, going out as an entrepreneur on your own?
Yeah. So like many entrepreneurs, I had a lot of ideas and I wanted to do big things. And I loved corporate, loved my job, worked with a lot of global people. And I just realized I couldn't quite make it fit in the corporate structure. At the same time, I'd had my second child and I had a very serious health crisis. And I sort of stood on the edge of that cliff and I was like, you know what, this is meant to be. So I took the leap and never looked back. And that was in 2018.
Okay. So it's been a while now.
Yeah.
7 years.
Feels like forever.
What were some of the things that stood out to you the most as you made the leap into entrepreneurship?
Well, I think the ability to sort of control your future, control how you're spending your time, like all of that freedom and creativity that comes from being your own boss was obviously a huge change and something I really wanted. think sometimes for entrepreneurs, it can be like kind of a curse and a blessing at the same time, which as I adjusted to being an entrepreneur, I went through that too. But the freedom was amazing. The other thing that really, I guess, drew me to it was this idea that I could earn and be and contribute as much as I wanted.
Right. There's no ceiling.
No ceiling. And I am a huge proponent of people making the money they want, rising to the level that they want. I mean, the more great people in this world that we have making all of the money that they want and building those businesses, like the world will be a better place. So that sort of unlocked possibility for me was a huge driver behind going in that direction. And once I got out of corporate, I felt like I was breaking out of jail. I'm like, I'm going to do all these things. And I really did. I ran head first into my coaching business at the time and, put together my offer, got out there in front of people, created community. And it was a wild ride in the beginning, but there was so much passion and momentum behind me at that time that it just like unlocked all of these things. And I just kind of ran out of the gate. Yeah.
When you come in with that like force of nature level energy, you can basically move mountains. You can do anything.
Totally.
So, and then as you started coaching, and you're consulting and all of that, what stood out to you about your clients?
Yeah, no one was making any money.
Yeah.
And it was so heartbreaking. It was so heartbreaking because I had amazing people in my world. They were capable, they were smart, they were driven. I mean, they wanted to do things. But when I started to sort of peel back the onion, they weren't making any money. And I was floored, honestly. And I thought, okay, no, this is not how it's supposed to be. Like there is a method, there are pieces to actually making your business work that you need to know. And it really is this combination of like the internal game, the actual like brass tacks of your business, and then the data underneath to make sure you're going in the right direction. And as soon as I kind of hit into that brick wall, I pivoted. I was like, okay, now I'm going to be a business coach.
Right.
And I'm going to dig in. And my mission is to help all of you people in my world right now overcome this hurdle and really not work hard for nothing. This is not how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think in business, we talk so much about revenue numbers that people very rarely talk about profit.
Correct.
And you hear it so much from, I guess, the general public who don't know entrepreneurship, where they say something like, oh, you go in the grocery store and the price of eggs is so high. And you're like, they're just raking in the profit. Like, this is absurd and all that. And then you go look up like profit margins on the grocery chains and you're like 1.5%. Right. Wait. I thought it was 20%, but it's like, no, it might be 2% if the chain's doing really well. And I see that all across the board of just these very thin profit margins, even in businesses that most people assume are very, very profitable. So I love that you have gone deep on this subject. You clearly have a lot of opinions on it. And if you're up for it, I'd love to just get up on the board and be like, all right, here's the 4 levers. Like, let's dive in and teach it to people.
I would love to do that. Let's do it.
Perfect.
We talked about the 4 keys, the 4 levers to unlocking profit and why that's important. Is there anything, do you want to dive right into the first one, or is there anything that, wraps up or like encompasses the whole idea?
Yeah. So on the topic of profit, one of the fastest ways that you can make profit and increase your margins is by looking at the things in your business that are making you money that you could do better.
Okay.
So to your point, when people think of growth, they always think of adding. Like, what other offer can I add? What more things can I do? And I'm here to like tell everyone that the key to more profit is actually subtracting out the things that are not working and taking your time and energy and your money and just putting those to the side. You don't need to like burn them to the ground. Just put them to the side. And we're going to lean into your 20% and where those levers are in your business that are going to produce this huge ROI. Because profitability is about doing something better. Not necessarily doing more, but better, optimizing it.
About focus.
Correct. Focus is a huge asset in your business. 100%.
All right. I love that. Okay. So what is the first key to unlocking more profit?
Okay. So the first lever is what I love to affectionately call your hell yes offer. So it is your offer in your business that is a product or a service that you have. And if you are someone who is earlier in entrepreneurship, or maybe you're starting something new, that offer in your business is the most powerful profit lever. If you can create an offer that is binge-worthy, that pulls people in, it sells itself before anyone even talks to you, that makes everything else in your business so much easier. So there are 4 components that make up a hell yes offer. Okay. The first one is your hell yes energy.
Okay, you're bringing hell yes energy
I'm
to
bringing
all
hell
of the
yes
sort of
energy.
beginning. Now, how should I? Is this bullet points? Is this a circle? Like how do I lay this out?
I think you could just sort of list them.
Okay.
And then there is sort of like a little arrow that fills into them, but we could just list them as bullets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So energy is the first one,
Yes,
specifically
energy.
hell yes energy.
Right. So I think this is one of those things that people forget. And a lot of times as entrepreneurs, when we're thinking about growth or our businesses, we look outside of ourselves. We're looking at the market like, oh, what's going on over at Kit? What is so-and-so doing? Like what's selling? What are all these things external to us? But really it starts with you. It starts with what lights you up. And so we want to make sure that both you sort of like start and end with this, but what are the things in your business or in your life that are lighting you up? And are they part of your offer?
Okay.
So the first piece is the hell yes energy.
All right.
The second piece is you want to call in your people with your offer. You want it dialed in. So calling in your people.
And what does that mean?
So that means like pulling your ideal client into your offer, into your business. So it's like it's calling them and it's magnetic.
Okay. Yep.
And the way that you do that with a hell yes offer is you own a problem. So people file you in their brain by the problem. They don't file you in by, your name. You're right behind a problem. You're not even in their brain if you don't have a problem in front of you. So you're owning that problem, and that problem is the hook. It's the thing that pulls them in.
Okay. And so you're basically saying you need to be known as the person who solves this problem.
Right. This offer is made for you who has this problem.
Okay.
Okay.
That
So
makes sense.
that's the calling in the people. The third piece is you want to have a compelling solution.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I see offers all day long, and most of them are really boring. They don't have a solution that people really want.
What's an example of an uncompelling solution that you've come across and then how you would transform it?
Okay, this is me personally. Something that you order online that takes 3 weeks to get to you.
Okay.
Like I'm so excited. I just bought this thing, this energy drink, and it's going to be here like October 15th. Like, oh my gosh, no. That is not compelling to me. Amazon, now it could be here by 4:00 this afternoon. Compelling.
That's compelling. Yes.
Right? It's really solving my problem. It's the thing that is going to be like, hell yes. Oh my gosh, click, sold.
It's a very compelling solution.
Very compelling. And it's lock and key with the problem.
Right.
Right? So they're always attached. It's not some rando thing. It's like really tight.
Yes.
So yeah, so compelling solution. So you've got your energy locked into this thing. You're calling in your people. It is made for them. You're offering the thing that they really want, like it's binge worthy. And then the last piece is that it is priced and it is positioned appropriately. So it really is made for this person. It's aligned with the buyer. And then it's also aligned with your business and what it is that you want to be creating. Like if you want 10 customers and you want to make $200,000, you're not going to price your offer at $200, right? So it needs to be made for you and your business. And you always say, like, what are you optimizing for, right?
Yes.
So
for
for
the question I ask all the time.
Right. And then what makes sense for this person? So that pricing and positioning really elevates your offer or puts it in alignment with that client. And when that whole thing comes together, you have to also check, how does it feel for you? Like, am I on fire about, if I was Jeff Bezos and it was Amazon and I was like, this is the goal of my company and my offers, like, is it doing the thing?
Right.
Can I go out and talk about this all the time? If the answer is yes, I promise you, like, your clients are feeling that and so are you.
Yeah. I mean, another example for me is for Kit with the Creator Network. You know, we built this product for so long where every creator is isolated, right? You run your account differently than I run my account. It doesn't really matter that we're both on Kit. But when we built the Creator Network, like, it starts to matter a lot. And so we can recommend each other, we can grow faster, I can discover new people. And so now probably half of a sales conversation that I have is all about Creator Network and the growth that you can drive. Because it's something like 40% faster growth. Like, you look at the numbers, it's ridiculous. And so because the compelling solution is so good, the energy that I bring to the calls is completely different. Because I'm not like, well, you know, we're 10% better in these areas. It's like, I mean, let me just show you the numbers from Ryan Holiday and, you know, Jenna Kutcher and all of these people. And like, if you want in, great. If you don't, like, I'm going to go talk to other people, you know?
Right. You're not afraid of those no's because you
Right.
love it so much.
Yeah. And you get to really bring that energy. And so, you know, you mentioned like kind of the loop aspect of it, you know, and it comes full circle. Because if you know, yeah, I clearly own a problem, I have a compelling solution, it's packaged and positioned appropriately, like in the fact with Creator Network. You know, I know that it's so compelling and we don't charge anything extra for it. It's just the same
Yes.
price of the product.
Which makes the offer even more hell yes.
Right.
Right?
And so then I come in with that energy and around we go.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
And it radiates. So that offer is so important. It's important for every business. But when you're running a business that's maybe, you know, like at $1 million, you have proof of concept. You've figured out your hell yes offering. Right. There's optimization there, of course. It's more custom in that sense. But these offers can get your business, I would say you can scale to $1 million with a really good hell yes offer. So you always want to have that on point. So if it's a newer creator or a newer business owner, you want to make sure you look at that offer because there's so much money hiding in your business just with that offer alone. It could be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Is there one of your clients or an example that comes to mind from what they were offering before, how it was packaged or positioned, and then when you got all 4 of these elements dialed in?
Yeah, there's a few, and I'll share. The first one was a client of mine who was a concert pianist. She's a very established pianist, creator, amazing. She wanted to start her own business and help teach other people to do that.
Okay.
So she still had her day job, but she was kind of dabbling in this space. And she kind of did this thing that a lot of musicians do where they're just like, I'm going to sell my services per hour. I think it was like $80 an hour. And you could buy 1 or maybe 2. I think she sold them as like a package of, you know, so many hours per month.
And is this training that she's offering people?
Yes.
Or, not performance, but.
So it was training. It was like training and skills. But to your point, it was very vague.
Okay.
It was like, do you want to learn how to play piano?
Like, I'm not sure, and she's not sure either.
Right.
And
right.
Yeah.
And it was like creeping along, and she was chasing clients, and it wasn't really exciting for her. So she hired me, and I was like, okay, let's talk about like, who do you really want to work with? What is exciting for you? And what she actually leaned into, when everyone thinks of music lessons a lot of times for kids, she was like, I want to work with the adults.
Right.
And I want to work with the adults who want to be really good. Like, I'm going to be a performer. So we revamped this whole offer stack around her energy, the adult student, and then somebody that wants to be the elite.
Okay.
Like they're trying to be concert level awesome. So we created an offer stack of 3 different things. One of them was focused on her adult client who actually had a specific problem. Like, I'm really good, but I can't get over this, like how to do my whatever is really fast. I'm not a pianist. So, but they had a very specific problem. They were coming in, it was like laser coaching. And she infused all that energy into it. Like, I'm going to get you this result fast. We're going to make it happen. She charged $5,000 for that offer.
Okay.
Then she had another offer that was more of a group program, meaning you want to get really good, but you don't want to do it by yourself, or maybe you don't have the funds to do that. So she created a more group program, skill-based. She had a membership area where people were coming in and she was working with them, and it was their ability to advance these skills and become really good, like even better than they were. And then there was a one-on-one program, which was directly to her, piano mastery, $25K, all in. Like, these are the people who are really going for it. And I live outside the Boston area, so there's like, you know, Berkeley School of Music. I mean, we're talking about incredible people. So she put it together. She was on fire. She started recording videos. You know, she had a YouTube channel. Lo and behold, she sold over $30,000 of services in 6 weeks.
A little different than $80 an hour.
100%. And the best part about it was like she was on fire. And her website showed that she was on fire. I mean, all of it just called her people in and called her to the table. And she was like off to the races. Now she's got thousands of people on her YouTube channel. So it was such a vast difference between I'm like trading time for money, chasing these clients, one-off things, to I'm going to lean into this one person. I'm going to create content around that. I'm going to drive people to me. And, you know, she had her email list. She had her YouTube. She did all those things.
Right.
But those offers set her on a total trajectory different than where she was before.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I can see how that all fits together. What else in the Hell Yes offer is really important that you want to make sure listeners understand and dive into?
I would say that you don't want to overcomplicate it. Like you don't own 17 problems. Like do one thing.
Yes.
She wanted to give this person like piano mastery.
Right. That's a good thing to underline. Own a problem.
Yes. It's one thing and it's giving one solution and you're going all in on this one powerful offer. So keep it simple. Keep it really simple. And if there's something in your business that's working now and you need to optimize that offer, like find out what that offer is. Make sure you're excited about it. If you're not, bring it to the next level.
Right.
And like focus in on that one thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One problem.
I love that. We're talking about the impact, right, from before and after. And we have this line in here, right, of unlock $100,000 in hidden profit. So I could see this over and over again of someone basically saying, look, here's what I was offering before. And people just aren't that interested, right? Because they feed off of your energy. They don't resonate with the problem. You're not attracting the right people. You don't have a compelling solution, et cetera.
There's another client that I had that had a membership and it was similar where it was just kind of ho-hum. It wasn't really dialed in. There wasn't a brand promise.
Right. One of those like memberships are $50 a month. So mine is $2.
Yes.
I guess. I don't know.
Right. Who is this? Who's coming? And people were coming, but now she's got like all of these clients. They're not getting consistent results. It's a huge lift for her. And really what she wanted was to work with people on a deeper level.
Right.
She wanted people who wanted to really stand out from the crowd, show their thought leadership, have that kind of a brand. And for her, when we revamped that offer, we actually moved it into instead of a 12-month, $50 a month type of a membership, which wasn't that exciting, wasn't calling anyone in. Huge lift for her. She's getting, calls. She's got customer service, like all of these pieces. When she really wanted to be doing something else, transformed that offer for her into a 4-month, 4K program where it was like 15 to 20 people per cohort, launching twice a year. I think she actually ran it in February and in September.
Okay.
And she sold out those cohorts. She made $120,000. It was sitting right there in her business.
Yep.
Same curriculum, just delivered a little bit differently. Took her summers off. Didn't work any more weekends. Got to really be in there with her clients and touch them. Her life is completely different now. I mean, she took her whole summer off. Her holidays are off versus like ping-ponging, trying to make
There's such an important lifestyle design part of that. Like, for example, I have a friend who owned a landscape pottery store for years, right? So it would import landscape pottery from Malaysia and Vietnam and all of that, and then would sell it all summer long. And so between March 15th and September 30th, he is slammed.
Yeah, out straight.
And then all winter,
salmon.
Like there's nothing going on, right? And so I was always thinking about that because my business is very consistent year round, right? Recurring revenue, all of that. But I realized like, oh, my friend has the perfect business if you love skiing. But if you love mountain biking and wake surfing, he has the worst business ever. Totally. And so in this case, your client, is like, okay, how can I design a business where I can hit all of my revenue and profit goals and have summers and holidays off?
Exactly.
And you're like, it sounds too good to be true. And it's like, no, just 4-month cohorts, run it at very specific times of the year. And just from it being a more compelling solution, probably for the right people, those people are probably like, oh, I would love to do that cohort, but it's in the middle of summer and my kids are out of school. Or like, it's over the holidays. It's like, wait, what you want is actually what they want to do.
Yes.
And so you can make these decisions when you're in full control.
Totally. And I think the eye-opener for her was like, hey, you know that thing you wanted to do in 12 months? How about if we do it in 4? Sound good? And they were like, hell yes, let's go. And it's like a love fest.
Right, because it would be easy to say, oh, I would love to charge $4,000, but really I could only do that if it's for a year. 4 months is too short. And you realize like, no. I don't have a year. As your client, I would really like results in 4 months, please. Exactly. And so the shorter is actually a increased value proposition.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so that is the hell yes offer. We can unlock a lot of revenue and profit from that. What's number 2?
So number 2, if you are an established business and you have an offer and you want to grow, but you don't want to do it by adding so much more complexity or, just chaos to your business. We want to really stay to that place of optimization and unlocking what is already sitting there.
Okay.
One of the most powerful levers that you have in your business is looking through the lens of what can I add on or what can I bundle to essentially increase the order volume that you have, offer more value to your clients, and make your life easier, generating that more revenue and essentially more profit because you're streamlining and you're selling more per customer.
Yep.
So this is really where you're looking at your business and you're looking at your offers. Maybe you're looking at some assets that you have that people ask about all the time, or maybe you ran that great, webinar at one point or something that if you were to put it together with the offers that you have, it would actually give your clients better value and you could charge more for it in one transaction.
Okay.
So an example of what I mean by this type of an add-on is I had a client that actually ran a specialty book publishing company.
Okay.
We're talking like very expensive books.
I'm interested.
When I first learned about this, I was like, how much are people paying for a book? But these were collectibles.
Are we talking hundreds or thousands of dollars?
Hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Okay. Per book.
And they would be limited, so they're collectible.
Yep.
And they were selling these things in launches, but they were sort of doing it one at a time. And so they were constantly needing to sort of, launch and send these things out. So we looked at the business and we were like, how can we sell more to these people at one time and help you make more money and have to do this less? So what we ended up doing, they had a special sort of like VIP community, or it wasn't really a community, but it was people that bought into a certain series. They called it the Modern Classic series.
Okay.
So they bought into the Modern Classic series and they would release these different books at different times of the year. So I said, well, how about if we tried to take the September launch that was coming up, and instead of just launching that one book and selling that, you could have that book sell by itself, but you can also give people the option of buying the bundle, which has the pre-sale of the January release.
Right.
They were like, okay. I'm like, okay, let's do this. By your numbers, you're selling out. And the way that the Modern Classics worked is that when you bought one level of book, you then had the option of getting the next one when it opened. So there was urgency to actually getting this edition so you could get the next one. So we're like, let's go to these people who are like getting this and wanting it and give them the chance to buy right now. And so that's what we did. We positioned the Modern Classics September launch. The books were $250 a piece, and it was a run of 250 books. And we gave them the option of, here's the cool September book launch, and here's like the super souped up VIP bundle for the January release. And we teased like what the title and the author was. And they sold out the entire 250 run and 80% of the January run.
Wow.
So they made $20,000 in a week. Their cart was open for a week. Then we closed that, went back to their email list and all of the people on there, and then we sold out the other 20% without ever launching to the public for other launches.
And then you just build this reputation of like, it's just always sold out. If someone's like, I'm thinking about buying this, maybe, maybe not. And it's like, okay, well, I wouldn't think for more than another 20 minutes or so because that's about how much time you have.
And that was the marketing that we are pulling forward into the other launches is last one sold out in 3 days. Or whatever, the time frame was. The beautiful thing about the add-ons and bundles is now he essentially made double with 250 plus customers. And he has now a framework of how do we run the April release.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's repeatable. Now this is an asset of how do you launch in this specialty book type of business.
I love that. Something else that I think about a lot in this category would be tiered pricing. And this is something that I came across relatively early in, I guess, my journey as a creator entrepreneur. And so in 2012, I wrote a book called The App Design Handbook and self-published it. And I sold that book for $39. So I guess I'll just sketch out. First it was, I think the launch price was $29, but ultimately was $39, which is a lot for a self-published book. But I'm teaching practical skills that you're using in your career, right?
Yeah.
But I had an email list of 800 people. And so I'm like, even if, if we have a 5% conversion rate, all this stuff, like we're not going to make that much money. And so then I'm like, all right, what else could I do here? And so then I decided to record videos.
Yes.
And I made the next tier was for $99.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the book plus these videos.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think would have done well.
Mhm.
But then a friend encouraged me, no, let's take this a step further. And let's, these are all added together.
Mhm.
And then go ahead and add in all of these resources that you have. And so I took my Photoshop templates, anything that could save you time
Yeah.
and make this faster and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I packaged that up. The first book I did this for $149.
Yep.
The next book I did it for $249. That was way better.
Mhm.
So I'm going to write $249 here
Mhm.
just in case someone copies it. And it's like, no. I iterated into it. You can go straight to the solution at the end.
Uh-huh.
So what happened here was absolutely wild because a lot of people came in and bought just the book, and that was great.
Mhm.
The students, anyone who was price sensitive.
Yeah.
So this sold the most copies.
Okay.
The breakdown on units was something like, ballpark was something like 50%,
Mm-hmm.
30%, 20%
Mhm.
on units. On revenue,
Mm-hmm.
it was almost the inverse.
Yep.
It was 50%. Let's see. So let's say number and dollars. I think it was 50, 30, and then 20. And so what happened, I did the math. If I had sold the same number of units,
Mm-hmm.
the collective, I don't know what it was, a few hundred copies,
Yeah.
and only had the $39 version,
Yep.
I would have made one amount of money.
Yep.
Compared to the breakdown of what actually happened, it was like 2.5 times as much.
Yes.
And it was absolutely wild. And I didn't price anybody out of the market.
Yep.
And the other thing is there was something for each person.
Mm-hmm.
So those who, it was like, look, just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Great, $39.
Yes.
Show me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Great, I have that version as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then hey, do as much of it for me as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
And so tons of people who had company credit cards, all of that, $39, $249, they round to the same number if you're putting on a corporate card, right?
That's right.
If it's under $500, you can probably spend the money without needing to get approval from your manager.
Yeah.
And so this idea of add-ons and bundles and really going back to your hell yes offer being priced and positioned
Yes.
appropriately. I mean, this was a huge amount of money. It doubled revenue, more than doubled revenue right away.
Mhm.
And I've used it on every single launch
Yes.
ever since.
And can I just say, this is a love fest for everyone. It is win. And then everyone that they tell about the books, it's win. Because you already had these things too, right? It was such a little lift, but the value went up. And this person was like, hell yes, I'm buying the $249. And this person's like, awesome, $39.
Right.
And everyone's in love.
Right. And this person might be confused. Why would someone pay $249
Right.
for that thing? And it's like, all right, that's fine. You can select.
Yes.
The other thing that was helpful is doing a recommended package.
Mm-hmm.
And so I played around with different things. I think the first version, I had this as the highlighted recommended.
Yeah.
And then, do different things. Later on, I what I finally did, my last book launch, I sold this as the thing that I wanted you to buy.
Yes.
And I switched it from horizontal packages
Yep.
to vertical.
Yep.
And so it was here's the whole thing. Here's the whole bundle.
Yeah.
It's got interviews. It's got, all of this stuff.
Mhm.
Or if that's too much money, you could buy this instead, which is the $99 version.
Mhm.
Or if you just want to check it out, here's the $39
Right.
version. And then, of course, the other thing is you reference this with your client going back to their email list later.
Yes.
Anyone who buys these two packages,
Mhm.
you can then pitch an offer
Yep.
to come back and buy the whole thing for the difference.
That's right.
And, it just prints money.
It's so good. It's so good. Which actually brings us to profit lever number
Okay.
3, which is reactivation.
Oh, yeah.
And this idea, exactly like you said, that your existing audience, those people in your email list, those previous clients, they are so warm. And when you have a warm person, guess what they do? They convert really easily.
Yes.
And they're not only just converting, they are thrilled to give you their money, you
Right.
know? So it is so important that businesses really leverage that reactivation.
Mhm.
And I think the number one reason that people leave money on the table and they don't sell offers is because they don't give another offer for people to buy.
Right.
So when you have this, and then you're like, oh, we just went through the thing, launch is over. It's like, no, it's not. You can go right back to these people and now offer them this thing.
Well, that's a great
Again.
point, because based on my numbers here, which, are off of memory,
Mhm.
but only 20% purchased
Right.
my highest priced item, which means that there's 80% that I have some kind of upsell to offer.
Correct.
And I can bring back either immediately
Yep.
or a month later, or something like that. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the book.
Yeah.
All this. Hey, I've got this offer if you want to.
Yep.
Go ahead and check out the additional resources.
Yes. And this works for everybody.
Mhm.
It works for if you are an online business. It works incredibly well if you are a brick and mortar business. If you have people and you have an audience, it is a gold mine. And not just a gold mine in money. Of course, it's a gold mine in money and cash flow.
Is this why you wear the bright yellow?
That is
It's
why I
gold
wear the
mine.
yellow. Yes. I am like, reactivate your clients and make money
Yes, exactly.
and be excited about it. But those people, they're there. They've bought in already. They
Right.
love you. So put something in front of them. One of my clients, actually, and I should say one more thing. Make it a thing. Like when
Okay.
you were doing this bundle, there's energy behind that. You've made it something unique. You've given it an identity where it's the such and such bundle or it's a such and such
Right.
experience. Like I don't
should
know
have.
how you.
I should have done that better. That's
Okay.
something that I didn't do well.
Um,
But I'm just gonna write that down. Of like, would you say name it? Like,
Yeah, give it an identity.
give it an
Like,
identity.
Yeah. And a name is always awesome for that because that's how people are buying in. And I will just be transparent. Like I am this person.
mhm.
Like I could just need the book, but I'm like, ooh, the VIP thing. I'm buying that VIP
Yes.
thing. And there are a lot of people like me.
Mhm.
Like that 2% is always right there waiting to buy the best thing.
Mhm.
But a lot of times we're like, oh, we're not going to spend that much money. Maybe we're going to outprice them. We kind of forget about them, but they're like the lowest hanging fruit and the biggest part of your revenue.
Right.
So give people, they need to see themselves in that offer. But when you go back to your people in your email list, you know them. Like what have you sold before that you really like? What is catching on? Can you put that into something you can put back in front of your audience? And it could be just like you did. You just did it, but now we're offering it to these people again. We're reactivating that 80% that didn't buy up. It could also be people that haven't bought in a while or are sitting dormant sort of in your list. Take that thing that people really like, it's been generating you money, give it an identity and push it out. And an example of that I've seen with my clients, we actually did the 2-tier sort of an offer. We had, it was a retail store in Virginia. They sold a lot of fair trade and different types of items, but always like great quality things. And they had these workshops. And one of them was making a candle. They called it a candle bar. But they were basically marketing it like it's just sort of come to our candle bar.
Okay.
And it wasn't really that exciting. And it didn't really give you a reason, like, am I a candle bar person? I'm not sure. Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
So we actually recreated it into creating like a memory that lasts. It became an experience. And we positioned it where you could either buy the normal candle
Mhm.
or you could buy the premium candle that's a little bigger and has the cool toppers.
Mhm.
And it was about 20% more. And we ran that. And then there was also another bundle add-on that you could get the VIP version that allowed you to make your own body spray. So it's
Okay.
like make your own candle, buy it self-standard, get the cool topper, bigger prize, VIP, or then do the body spray too. And this is something where you can make memories, come with your friends, come with your families, do something with your kids. Her goal was to sell these workshops out. And she was not doing that. And she was really freaking out because it was her slow season. And so we revamped the whole thing. And she is now selling out. She's almost 100% sold out for her Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday classes. And she actually just sent me a message that said that she is up 76% from last August,
Okay.
which was her slowest month. And she's up 26% from July
Okay. Wow.
with one product.
76% year-over-year growth. I'm just going to
Year-over-year.
write that down.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know where to put this. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty effective.
It's effective. Yeah.
Every business owner is like, I'll take 76% year-over-year.
Yeah. Yeah. And the cool thing about this was she went to her list. She went to her existing audience, and we just rejigged this, repositioned it, made it more hell yes, made the order volume bigger. So now instead of like the standard being a $30 candle, if you get the VIP version with the spray, it's now $50.
Yep. I'm just gonna add in. So it's the average order value, right? That went up. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's a key thing. I bet a lot of people are not tracking that metric.
Yeah.
Of when a buyer comes to me, on average, how much do they spend?
Right. Exactly.
They look at like, this month we made $27,000 from this number of people, but like continue to map that out. And then checking things of like, hey, if I have my sales page lined up like this, what's the average order value?
Correct.
And then if I have it lined up vertically, with this is the primary offer, what's the average order value?
Exactly.
And how can I shift that over time?
Exactly. And to that end, if she did nothing else in her business except put the emphasis on the $50 option versus the $30, she would double her business just doing that. Same candle bar, same pouring the things.
Right.
I mean, the cost minimal, it's a minimal increase.
Yep.
Now everything is streamlined and she's doubling her business.
There's something else in that. A lot of people, will not notice the increase in profit. They'll only notice the increase in revenue. So I don't know, a simple example of this is, let's say that, what would a good example? You're selling a $10 product and it costs you $8 all in when you factor in your employee costs, your physical, everything, your space rented and all of that. And so then you're like, okay, so that was $10. If I could sell it for $15, that'd be a 50% increase in revenue. And you're like, yes, that's correct. If you kept the same number of units. But I won't even do the math, but it'd be an insane increase. Your profit just went from $2 to $7 per unit.
Exactly.
And so you're like, oh, we're 3.5 times the profit.
Yep.
And they don't realize how big of a difference that makes.
Correct.
And they also don't realize how big of a difference in the inverse discounting makes.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, I'm just going to discount this by 10%. And you're like, no, you only had like, if this is our bucket and, this is our costs and this right here is our profit.
Yes.
Well, if I discount by 10%, I'm just eliminating, like that's coming straight. It's 10% of the total.
That's right.
And it's coming straight out of the profit side of it. And so you're like, oh, that's
painful.
That's very, very painful. And so understanding the relationship between order value and profit and, your cost of goods sold and all that is very important.
Yeah.
On the digital side, we don't have to worry about it as much, but it's still so important to know.
Yeah. I think on the digital side, though, the danger people get into is the cost of their energy.
Okay.
Okay. So like for your example here, I bet you had this video or you had thought of this before where you could add it on easily.
Yeah, I went through and recorded tutorial. It was the source material was all in the book.
Right, it's already done.
And I went and recorded video versions of what was in the book.
Right. So it was a small, like the cost is small. What would be bad is if you were like, let me go record all these things that I've never done before, and I have to now research. And I don't know if it was like on Dan's episode that he did with you. He's like, that research, that 50% that you spend up front looking and researching. When you create all these new things all the time or burn something to the ground, you are constantly reinvesting that 50% of energy. And some of it does have a cost, but with creators, a lot of times it's you. Like you're recording the thing, so it doesn't cost you a lot to get on a Zoom, right? You're already paying for Zoom, but you're spending 17 hours now creating something new versus like, I did the hard work, I wrote the book, I'm just gonna package this thing now in a soundbite differently.
Yep.
There is cost, but it's small. So that was a smart
move. So diving into the reactivation one.
Yeah.
What are the things that, like, what are the sub levers within reactivation or the steps that are really important for us to pay attention to?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first piece is you need to be capturing and know where your audience is and your customers.
Okay.
And I know that sounds funny to say that, and maybe you've experienced this too. I've worked with a lot of people who are not capturing their clients in anything like sort of formal. I mean, I would even take a spreadsheet,
Right.
but like these are your people. This is who's spending the money. This is what they're buying. Like it is clear that you are capturing them somewhere so that you know exactly who to reactivate,
Right.
with what, and you can, again, make that lock and key really simple.
Mhm.
So capturing that is important.
I have an example of this.
Mhm.
So Kevin Hart,
Mhm.
when he wrote his book, which I can't make this up, I think is the name of the book. But he talked about how he made the leap from an opening act, one of many opening acts in stand-up comedy,
Mhm.
to being the headliner.
Mm.
And the difference was he captured contact info. And so what would happen is he would go to a city and he's just part of this tour. He's getting paid like $100
Mhm.
to get to be on stage in front of, a few hundred people. And then like gradually bigger and bigger things. And eventually, he's making $400. Something like not enough that you can live
Right.
off of. But what he started doing is he started passing around a clipboard
Mhm.
at each event. And he said, hey, if you want to hear more, hear when I'm coming back, all of that, put down your name and email address.
Mhm.
And then what would happen is when he came back to that city, he would email people.
So smart.
And usually, he said, by the third time they visited the city, he was the headliner. Because all they cared about is, if someone's booking comedians,
Right.
who can attract the audience?
That's right.
Who will, I have a room.
Yeah.
It has 400 seats.
Mhm. Who can fill it?
Who can fill the room?
Yeah.
I think you have the best shot of it. Cool, you're the headliner.
Right, great.
And down from there, right? And so he used email, and he talks about this in his book of how capturing contact info was the key thing. Because to your point, he has to be able to reactivate people.
Yes.
When he's coming to Philadelphia or Boston, for the second, third, fourth time, he has to be able to have more people than the first time.
Yep.
And more people than the previous time.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, anyway, a long way of
That's
saying
so
capturing
smart.
contact info is key.
Yeah. And a lot of people do not do this. I mean, we're talking businesses, big businesses where you're like, what? Am I hearing this wrong? Like, know who your customers are, know what they're buying, know
Right.
what they want, know what resonated. Because part of the reactivation is putting that thing back in front of people in a way that they really want it. And so you need to know what that is. So it's capturing the contact info, and then it's like knowing what they want. So take the thing that works, and put it back in front of them. Your example is great. Like they wanted this thing.
Right.
I'm going to give it back to them.
Mm-hmm.
If people are always asking about your webinar thing or whatever it is that they love, how can you package that and put it back in front of it? And the other thing I want to say about it is, this is like, do it while they are hot.
Okay.
So one of the things that we did with reactivating people at the candle bar is at the end of them, we said, want to book your next one? Hey, we have this theme coming up, spooky candle night in October.
Right.
Do you want to book this one? And she would get like 50% of her signups right there on the spot because they're having a great time. They've made an experience.
They're with people
That's
and they're
right.
like, hey, do you want to do this again?
That's right. They met
We
new
never
friends.
hang out. Let's just get a time to hang out on the calendar
Right.
30 days from now.
Yeah. Oh, we could go to the spooky blah, 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 blah thing after that.
Right.
Great. And the whole thing just, because they're ready. They've got their credit cards. They're in it.
Right.
So that is another piece of it. It's like the timing of it, even with memberships. Like if people are coming up to the end of their membership, how do you put something in front of them? Like the cool thing that's coming out next month so that they don't quit.
Yep. What about reactivating people who are cold? So I think about an example for Kit would be, we have, now it's tens of thousands of people signing up every month. And a portion of those find a huge amount of success. Many more don't. Either they're checking it out or the timing is wrong or whatever else. Or we didn't have a feature they wanted. And so we stay in touch with, marketing and advice, things like this podcast, right? Because someone might be like, oh, I'm not on Kit, but I love learning from the podcast, and so then they'll stay in our circles and we'll be top of mind when it's ready. But a big thing is we'll send out emails of like, hey, here are the features that we launched this month.
Yeah.
Of just staying in touch. But I think a lot of people are going to have the problem of they're like, yeah, I captured lots of contact info, but I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah.
So what types of offers, how do you handle reactivating, cold users or customers?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So you want to give them a reason. So first, you need to put an offer in front of them. A lot of people will not go back to their cold list and make the offer something bingy to bring them back in.
Or what I see a lot, and probably have been guilty of myself, is like, well, I've been emailing them educational material this whole time.
Right.
And it's like, cool, that's great.
Right.
Better than nothing.
Right.
But like educational material and then an offer, maybe?
Right. No
do you
call to
wanna,
action.
Do you want to put the call to action in there?
So for your features, make it a thing. You know, if I was coming into town and headlining and I wanted to bring you back to my show, what would I make that experience? What identity would I give you that fits with this experience that would make them come back in? And to your point, have the button and the CTA right there on the page in the email.
Right.
You know?
I was going to say cold, you just need to make an offer.
Yeah. And a good one. Like, know what their problem is. I mean, if for you, for example, you're creating features because people have this problem.
Right.
So it should be pretty lock and key. But you want to, that email is really, it's about the feature, but it's about the feature converting this person to come back in.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about, if we go back to the Kevin Hart example.
Yeah.
You know, if he's saying, hey, I'm back.
Yes.
Come again. And like, oh, I love the show. I'd be happy to come back. But he could make a very compelling offer. Hey, as someone who came to my show already in Philadelphia, and I know that because I captured contact info from
the people there.
Like, I know you were there. Then I have to say, if you buy 2 tickets, so you and you bring a friend, then we're going to host this happy hour before the show. Like, we'll do a meet and greet happy hour with like the first 50 people who buy.
Yes.
Right. And so then you have the option to say, hey, you know that comedian that I was telling you about I went to like 6 months ago? He's back.
Yep.
And actually, I can get both of us in for a little meet and greet beforehand. You know, and so then it's like, I got to bring, you know, I'm bringing a friend in.
Yeah.
So that would be a wildly compelling offer.
Yes.
You know, that it brings in someone else and we get people coming back. And then, you know, the booking agent or whoever runs the venue was like, wait, how did you get twice as many people?
Right.
And they'd actually probably be thrilled because it's like, well, you brought them in early and they bought drinks. And so the venue's like, wait, why did your people buy twice as many drinks as, as the other comedians? Like, well, because I brought them in early and did an hour happy hour and like met them all.
Yeah. And not only that, I told them to go get a drink.
Right.
Right. I made it at the bar. Like, you know, it's right there, which I think
would increase our average order value.
That's right. And even looking at that, like, where am I making my money? Is it the ticket sale? Is it the bar? You know, having that path. And I think that actually touches on lever number 4, which you just mentioned, which is the referral.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Right. So when you tell someone, is it RR?
Yeah, 2 R's.
Yeah.
Right? Did I get that right?
I think that's right.
Okay.
It looks right.
There we go.
Now you're doubling your order volume. You're reigniting cold leads. And then you're now creating another fan here.
Right.
So the list gets bigger. It's another buyer. And this whole thing, talk about like love, love, love. This really becomes your marketing stream because people know other good people. They know people like them. And now that is bringing people back into the beginning, and the whole thing is a really powerful flywheel. I have seen this work incredibly well. And I think when people, I mean, yes, it's like bring a friend is very good and it's overt.
Yep.
But sometimes you can bake this in to your offers where it's not like a bring a friend day per se.
You're not like on the nose with it. It's like, it's more subtle and intentional.
Yes, and it becomes a standard process of the way that you do business, which is incredibly powerful. So the things you want to look for here is like, where can we create those sort of experiences where that +1 is like standard part of the business? So it becomes almost an SOP. Like when we roll out this offer, when we do this type of an event, we're always going to include that.
What's our +1?
Yes. What is our +1?
Okay.
Why should somebody else come? Why should you tell someone about this? The other thing is the asking. How many people do not consistently ask for a referral? Even testimonials. I mean, this is a joke that I have with my with one of my mentors. I'm like, hey, this thing just happened. She's like, great, testimonial. Like, she doesn't want to hear it. She's like, get the thing that's going to bring somebody else in.
Okay, I'm thinking about that. One came to mind today. So Jenna Kutcher is a good friend, but she's been on another platform for a long time. She recently migrated to Kit.
Yeah.
and she sent me the most glowing like voice memo and screenshot. Like our team just went above and beyond to take care of her team,
So good.
which was fantastic. I'm thrilled as a business owner and all of that. But it'd be a perfect opportunity to, follow up like later today or tomorrow and be like, amazing. Hey, would you mind sending a testimonial that we could use on our migrations page?
Yes.
And it's perfect, right? Because you just sent a whole raving thing. But I didn't ask for the testimonial.
Right.
Thankfully, the timing is right. I still can.
You can, yeah. And even if your team wants to take what she sent and say, hey, we would really love to share this.
Right.
We just took the thing. Is this okay with
Yes.
you? So she's not even like starting with a blank piece of paper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fantastic.
That's really leverageable. So we try to bake this into our clients, business. And we've done this with people, especially we have a lot of brick and mortar clients. We've created memberships for them. It is the lifeblood of their business. It is referral based. But the way that we created this offer was we want to get people on a recurring, you're going to spend this money every month. It's basically like a credit. So you pay for different tiers, just like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And actually it's very simple. So she's got 3 tiers. And I think this one is $199. This one is $299.
Are these monthly or yearly?
Monthly.
Okay.
And then this one is $499. This is like
I like the jump there.
Gold level. And what we did was we baked all these cool things. So you get special pricing. You get to share this with somebody in your house. Could be your husband, daughter, whomever. So you can share all the membership benefits. You could share with a +1 in your home. And then you could also share it with another friend one time where they come in and they can get all the benefits. And then if they love it, they have to buy their own membership.
Okay.
And then there's also special like fun VIP events that we run just for members. So we really like lean into these people and we make it sort of proliferate.
Right.
And the amount of people that we have gotten in just by doing the +1 has been crazy because there is literally no hurdle. Like we're hanging out, we're going to go to the spa. You want to come with me? Great. You can get all the benefits of my membership. And then, oh, you love it? You can buy your own now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm realizing there's a climbing gym that I'm a member of that has a version of the same thing where they say, hey, once a month, you can invite someone else so long as it's their first time here this month.
Yeah.
So like if I wanted to climb with my brother or something like that, I could have him come 12 times a year for free.
Yeah.
It just has to be spaced out once a month.
Interesting.
Because they're just like, getting him
in the door.
Getting him in the door and then like, I can't bring him with me every time, right? Because he needs to buy a membership.
Right. And he probably would want to.
Right. But and I think it would prevent like the family, like, oh, I'm just continually bringing my kid instead of paying for a membership.
Right.
But that simple thing is, just I'm going to go climbing. I'd love to go with someone else. Oh, I can actually bring you for free.
Yes. Exactly.
Now you're also probably going to rent shoes and a harness, or like.
That's right. That's like the bar example. Like what other things are they going to buy? Impulse buy just from being there.
Right. But that's built in. And so that's the +1 in your SOP. All right, what are some examples of +1s on the digital side where you're like, you come to your offer and you're like, all right, my SOP says I got to at least spend half an hour brainstorming what a +1 would be.
Oh yeah. I mean, on the digital side, I'll tell you what I do in my business. For my paying clients, I have a VIP community. And it is just, if you have bought one of my offers, you're in the community.
Okay.
So it's free. And I love on these people. They're like, it is like a love fest and they're so good. And there's value in all of those things. But once a quarter, we will have a sort of like a bring a friend day. And those people just come in and they get access to the experience and all the things. And I cannot tell you how many people have just bought into programs just from having come into that experience. So if you're holding a weekly call in your community or a monthly call, like make one of them a bring a friend and have that person come in and experience it.
Right. Everyone who's doing consistent content could do a bring a friend.
100%.
And you could do it once a month, once a quarter, like just feel out what the right cadence is.
Exactly.
And then it feels like, I'm just coming back to the hell yes offer, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that makes it feel more compelling. Someone's raving about it. You get to show off that level of energy that you're bringing in. And then, it also, I mean, going back to the pricing side of it, you're like, oh, and I get to once a month bring a friend to this, or Absolutely. Like, it makes it way more valuable. You know, when I'm buying the climbing gym offer, I'm like, okay, for whatever it is, $100 a month or $60 a month, is that worth it? Oh, but if I bring a friend half the time, which they're like, please bring a friend.
Right.
That's our marketing.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm seeing their marketing as
A benefit to you.
as a benefit to me.
Yeah, and it's feel good.
Right.
Like, you know, I actually did this, and here's the other piece of it. Make it strategic. What are you going to talk about during this bring a friend?
Yes.
You know, for us, when we were really selling the Hell Yes offer immersions, we would talk about people's offer. Let's hot seat people's offer for the guests that are coming in. Let's talk about your offer. How can we help you optimize it?
Right.
They'll be like, man, I really think I have a problem with my offer. And then they buy the Hell Yes offer program.
Yes.
So be strategic about it. You know, if you're going to invite people in, for example, you know, your cold list, you're going to put it in front of them, come back for a month or come back for a day on us. What kind of things are you going to be rolling out and talking about that month that's going to get them to re-enroll?
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, that's important.
What else in the referral? Like, the referral is so important. And I would say, like, so many flywheels that I design, all of that come down to this referral step.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just say, like, yeah, and then it's like hand wavy, you know, like, oh, and then, you know, add referrals and then see it just compounds from there. And you're like,
but how do you do that?
right. And I always think about, how do you engineer it,
Yes.
not hope for the outcome or all of that.
Yeah. Well, this SOP piece here where I'm saying like this +1 is part of their standard operating procedure. I actually think like you need to make referrals part of how you do business. I think the problem with referrals, to your point, is it's an afterthought.
Yeah, it's the add-on or the,
Right. Maybe I'll remember to ask for the testimonial, you know, those types of things. It's like, no. Just like with Kevin Hart bringing people in and leading them to the bar,
right.
you need to bring people in and they have an amazing experience and you get the referral, you ask for the testimonial, you do the +1 as part of your quarterly business plan. It is not a byproduct. It's not just a side thing. It is your marketing. Just like you're like, I'm sending emails every week. Like, I am going to drive this referral system like consistently and as a part of my business.
Right. Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
And have it be like formal. It's not just a marketing tactic. It could become your marketing system.
Yeah. You have to have momentum.
Yep.
First, but it can be the accelerator rather than being in this grind of, you know.
And when you have clients who are winning, like you do, like businesses that are established and they've got this thing going, it's like, how do you make that work for you? How do you throw the kerosene on there? And you could do it in many different ways. Maybe it's a bring a friend day. Maybe it's part of your monthly programs where it's just like somebody can bring one person to the gym extra per month, or there's something that you bake in there. The other thing too that's powerful about both this and reactivation, when I used to run cohorts every quarter, I would actually offer a special package or a special pricing to the people that were already in that cohort.
Okay.
So I would end up bringing almost 50% of the people over to the next cohort because of what I was putting in front of them and to like increasing that long-term value of that client while you're like in that system.
It also has the added effect of someone comes in and you're teaching someone something and they're in the comments or in the discussion being like, oh yeah, I implemented that. Amazing.
Exactly.
Game changer. And you're like, did you just bring your own paid hype person?
Right.
But they're paying you, not the other way around. We do this with creator dinners where if I'm hosting, like say I'm in New York and I'm hosting an 8 or 10 person dinner.
Yeah.
You have this interesting balance. Sometimes we'll do them where it's all existing customers.
Yeah.
Right. And that's all about retention and building these relationships and maybe generating some referrals as well. But what I really like is when you get that split of like 4 existing customers and then, 4 people that aren't customers yet, because then the existing customers do all my selling for me. Like out at dinner, people were just said like, can I sell kit for you? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, well, here's why I use it. And they rattle off all of those reasons.
Yeah. And you can make your dinners part of your business.
Right.
Like that is one of your offers. Your like lead magnets basically is those dinners. And you're very strategic about who you invite in. And are they extroverts? And are they going to talk to the other people at dinner? But community now is so important for people. That in person is really powerful. You hold events.
Mhm.
Like, how can you make those people, to your point, your customers at those events sell
Right.
other people?
I mean, we did that for craft and commerce. Getting an event off the ground is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
I thought building software was hard. Building an event is way harder. And so getting that initial momentum, for a handful of years, we did these bring a friend tickets where like the best price came from if you bought two, and you had to think about like, okay, who, and our like soft rule was like, no, we don't mean the person who's next to you right now.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Like this is, for you to
Let's
go
cheat
bring
the
someone
system.
new into the community.
Yeah.
And it really worked. And Craft and Commerce is a sold out event now.
See?
And it's all because, we were like, all right, what's our +1?
You get an A+.
So thank you. That's what I've been working towards.
Yeah.
I feel like people really resonate with examples on referrals. So not to put you on the spot too much, but is there another example of a referral system that you put in place for a business?
Yeah. Well, if we go back to actually this, the candle bar person, we actually offered them a special ticket price to bring someone else. So we said, hey, if you're here and you want to come to the next one, we can sell you into that. If you bring a +1, like they can come for free.
Oh, wow.
And that was part of why all of her things started selling out.
Because they're just saying, hey, how do we double the number of people
Right.
that even know about us? Because maybe it's like, look, in our total funnel, conversions might not be the problem. People actually loving the event's not the problem. It might just be that most people don't know we exist.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And so if you're like, if awareness is the problem, then and your cost of goods sold is okay, where it's like, look, I can still make a profit.
Yep.
If +1s are free.
Yep.
Then yeah, why not?
Yeah. So we get them while they're hot. They're like joining again. So you've got that sort of, not reactivating because they're already in there, but you're buying another ticket, and then we're telling them to bring somebody for free. So, and then you do the same thing. Now, I think that's the other piece I want to say about this is that you've now created a repeatable framework.
Right.
So every time they run a candle bar, every time you do craft and commerce, every time you run a dinner, you have an asset in your business now that is going to pay you back.
Yeah, that's this SOP of doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
This is a mistake that hopefully it makes people feel better to hear this, that I still make.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, cool, we did that thing. And it's like, is it documented?
Right.
Are the steps?
Right.
Like you were talking about having a great experience coming here to the show.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And the way the team interacted and all of that. But like the team changes over time. Like Lexi, who normally does a bunch of that for us, she's out on maternity leave.
Yes.
Right. And so is it like making the perfect guest experience? Is it documented well enough?
Yep.
That if Lexi's out for 3 months,
Yes.
it, still happens seamlessly. And that's such an important thing that, we're still learning it, every time.
Yeah. And that's such an important piece because the way that you really drive these levers is you run it, you measure it, you take the best parts and you bring it forward. That is how you optimize.
Yep. I'm going to write down measure because that's something that people don't do enough of, right? There's a lot of talk of referrals, and we were saying like hoping for it versus engineering it. And so it's like, no, we want to engineer it. And it's
That's
like,
right.
okay, well, in our candle bar example, we should be able to track how many people came back for a repeat guest. How many buy one, get one, or bring a friend were sold.
Yes.
And, in the climbing gym example, everyone has to sign, if I bring my brother in for the first time, he's got to sign a waiver and put his email address down and all that.
That's right.
And so they should know, hey, he came in as a referral from Nathan.
That's right.
How many of our referrals in a given month actually converted?
That's right.
And then, what's our average time of conversion for a referral? And then they could, maybe it's as simple as sending an email.
That's right.
And being like, hey, did you know you have this benefit where you could bring in a friend for free?
Yes.
Right? And then all of a sudden,
Yep.
Bring a friend spike like crazy.
Yep.
All because you just increased awareness. But that measurement is so, so important.
Huge, huge. And systems like yours have data.
Right.
And I'm going to make another heart and be a lot of hearts today. But like, people think this is a dirty word, data. It's everything. Because not only are you like, you're bringing in your brother and then we're seeing if he converts. That's one stream, right? If you ran the dinner, that's another stream. Now the question is, which one bought in the referrals the best, the easiest, the cheapest? Then you iterate from there. So it's your best things forward. There is no way you could figure that out though, unless you have the numbers.
Right.
You have to look at the information. I mean, you can guess. We're usually really bad at that. You know what I mean? We think something's doing better than it really is, but the data is everything. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You just explain the whole funnel. Like, I asked Nathan to bring someone. He bought them. Did he convert? Yes or no? Like, how long did that take? Yes or no? Which one of the things did he buy? Oh, wait, every time I ask someone to bring a +1, they convert and they buy the highest package. Like, bingo. Here we go. This is awesome.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's so much good stuff in here. So I want to take a step back and just look at this. You know, the promise that we made coming into this is, you know, the 4 keys to unlock 100K in hidden profit. Usually what happens is we spend all of this time, you know, if there was a funnel, I guess I'll just draw it down here, right? Of, you know, up at the top is, you know, our activation, and then, you know, our conversion is somewhere in here, right? And we're spending all of our time as business owners, like just going back and forth between these two, right? And it's exhausting, right? There's, you're like, yep,
you're getting it.
Been there, done that, lived that, you know.
Every day.
All of those things. And so really, when you're talking about unlocking hidden profit, a little bit of it is in this top of funnel.
It will help drive that,
right?
yes.
The hell yes offer, you know, that is really in this stage.
Sure.
But then the add-ons and bundles, we're starting to move down the funnel, the reactivation, the referrals, down the funnel so much more. And so you're like, this is why it's like unlocking the hidden profit that's in your business right now is because, hey, the rest of this funnel, just because you're ignoring it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Correct. Blue ocean.
Right. And so that aspect of it is so important. So I just want to look at a couple other things and see what stood out to me just as we kind of reflect. I think the referral, the SOP for it, like what is your +1 SOP and how do you bake that into the DNA of your business?
Yes.
There's probably a lot. Actually, this would be a great brainstorm with ChatGPT of like, okay, how could I bring a friend element into my digital business, 100%. Into my consulting business, all of that. And then the other things, capturing contact info. That's a huge one.
Yes.
So many people mess that up.
Oh,
every author who sells on Amazon gets that one wrong.
I'm sure.
Right? Because you don't get the sales. So you have to collect it in the book.
Yeah.
Which means you need to plan for it like 9 months before launch.
Yeah.
You know, this idea of giving an identity to an offer. Sometimes you'll see this in packages where it's like hobbyist, professional, you know, right? And you're like, well, I sure like $39 as price, but I'm not a hobbyist.
I'm not a hobbyist. I want the professional one. Yes.
Right? Professionals like me buy this.
Even like bronze, silver, gold. Like I am gold. You know?
Obviously.
I am gold.
Can't you tell?
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
And then I think another thing to just pay attention to in this, right, as we're talking about this funnel and moving from really focusing on the top part of it to moving down the funnel, then really this idea of increasing average order value and measuring average order value and the data, as you called out, I think are huge things.
Yeah, I agree. And doing it in that vein of leaning in to what lights you up. Like if you loved writing the dinners, do that. If that's your +1 thing, you know, if you like giving people some sort of an experience and that's what you're selling, great.
Yeah.
You know, like look where the money is, look what lights you up, marry them together, and uncover it in your business.
Yeah.
It will always pay you back in dividends of driving all the front top of funnel things too. But a warm lead, a current customer, the people on your email list, those people are the hottest and easiest to convert.
Yep.
They are just waiting for you.
I love that. And then even as you think about this, as some of the categories to keep coming back to periodically, you could do one a month where like, hey, all year long, I'm going to, you know, for the first I'm going to work on my offer and then add-ons and bundles in February and then reactivation in March and, you know, on from there. And then once I've got my referrals dialed in, well, I have all of these people coming in as new referrals who are all encountering my offer.
Yep.
So in May, how do I make the offer better?
Yes.
And keep coming back to this and just keep systematically working down the process.
Yes. And if your business is somewhat cyclical, like maybe there's a lot of customers that join in January,
right?
It's like you take the framework and you just replay it. This is like so important when it comes to predictability and stable income. Like every time I run this funnel or my client runs this funnel, they make $30,000. And this happens. I've done this with clients with even an event where they're selling a product on the back end. And after every event, there are 8 sales. I'm like, this is the event framework.
Right.
So she knows every time she wants to make $30,000, she just runs another event. And we could plan them out. You're going to do the Christmas one. You're going to do the, and she knows exactly how that's going to look. Everyone can do that. They could do it in a digital business too. For sure.
It.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on the show
course,
and
thank you for
teaching
having
all
me.
of this. Has been a masterclass.
Yeah.
Where should people go if they want to follow you, learn more about what you do, and all of that?
So I'm on all the interwebs as Jessica DeGuardi Miller, but I put something special together for you and your
amazing.
audience where you can go in and look at these 4 levers for your business right now. I want you to get off the podcast and go and uncover this because it is sitting right there. So you can go to jessicamillercoaching.com/Nathan.
Okay.
And there is a worksheet there for you that literally outlines this, and you can start uncovering this hidden money immediately.
It's a pretty compelling offer as far as like you bring the energy, this matters, and you're like, look, I made the thing, jessicamillercoaching.com/Nathan.
Yep.
Where now I will walk you through it and give you the worksheet where you can implement this yourself.
No excuses.
Amazing.
Let's go.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed this episode, you'll love episode 57 with Karina Holden on building a $375,000 business in just 15 hours per week. We talk about the profit levers she used to keep things simple and still grow. Be sure to like this video, definitely subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next week.